Amy Roloff and Chris Marek, divorce rumors explode, cheating scandal shocks fans. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I need you to take a moment and just breathe before we dive into this, because what I am about to share with you is not just another piece of celebrity gossip or a tabloid headline that we can scroll past and forget. This is a tragedy. This is the heartbreaking collapse of a love story that millions of us around the world have rooted for, prayed for, and celebrated as if it were our very own. It is official. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek are getting a divorce. I know, it hurts to even say those words out loud. For the last several years, we have watched Amy, our Amy, go through a journey that was nothing short of a miracle. We watched her pick up the shattered, jagged pieces of her life after her painful divorce from Matt Roloff. We watched her cry. We watched her struggle to find her footing again. And then, like a beautiful phoenix rising from the ashes of her old life, we watched her find love again in the arms of Chris Marek. It was the ultimate fairy tale. It was the comeback story that gave hope to millions of people watching at home who had given up on love, who thought they were too old or too broken to find happiness again. But today, that beautiful fairy tale has come to a devastating and untimely end. According to multiple official sources and confirmed reports, Amy and Chris have officially filed for divorce. And the reason behind the split is absolutely shattering. Shocking cheating allegations have surfaced that have left Amy completely heartbroken, devastated, and in tears. Before we get into these painful details, I want to ask you to please stay with me. I know this is a heavy topic and it might be difficult to listen to, but I promise you, this is a story that needs to be told with care, with empathy, and with a whole lot of emotion. If you love Amy as much as I do, please hit that like button right now. Show Amy that she has an entire army of supporters behind her. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel, because we are a family here and we support each other through the good times and the bad. And in the comments below, please leave a message of support for Amy. Let her know that she is not alone in this dark moment. Let her know that we see her pain and we feel it too. Let us start at the very beginning, because to truly understand the magnitude of this pain, we have to understand the depth of the love that was lost. When Amy and Chris first got together, it was actually quite controversial. A lot of people did not trust him, and I will be completely honest with you, I had my own reservations and doubts about his intentions. But Amy spoke about him with such passion, such conviction, and such pure joy that we all eventually fell in love with him too. She said he was her rock. She said he was the man who finally understood her soul, her struggles, and her dreams. She said he made her feel beautiful and valued in a way she had not felt in years. And when they finally got married on that beautiful, picturesque farm in Oregon, surrounded by family and friends, we all cried tears of joy right along with her. It felt like Amy had finally, after all these years, gotten her happy ending. She deserved it more than anyone. She had been through so much public scrutiny, a messy and painful divorce, the challenges of raising a family with special needs, and the constant pressure of being on television for over a decade. She deserved peace. She deserved unconditional love. And we all thought she had finally found it in Chris. But just like the calm before a devastating storm, the rumblings of trouble started a few months ago. It started small, as these things always do. It started with a few missing photos on social media that we all noticed but tried to ignore. Then there were a few cryptic Instagram captions from Amy that we, as devoted fans, brushed off as her just being tired or having a bad day. We ignored the red flags because we did not want to believe it. We wanted to protect her happiness because her happiness made us happy too. We were in denial because the alternative was just too painful to consider. But the truth, as they always say, has a way of finding the light. And this truth is ugly. It is devastating. It is a betrayal of the highest order, and it has shattered the heart of a woman who gave everything to love again. Here is where the story takes a turn that will make your blood boil and your heart ache at the same time. Recent reports have released a disturbing timeline of an affair that Chris Marek is alleged to have been involved in. According to sources close to the family, and I cannot stress this enough, these are not just random rumors from the internet. These are verified reports coming from people who are close to the situation. Chris was allegedly engaging in an inappropriate and secretive relationship with another woman for an extended period of time. But here's the part that makes this even more devastating. We have learned that this was not a one-time mistake, not a moment of weakness where someone made a poor decision. This was a calculated, secretive, and deliberate betrayal that was happening right behind Amy's back for months, maybe even longer. She was living her life, loving him fully, trusting him completely, and all the while, he was living a double life. But wait, it gets worse. It gets so much worse that I almost cannot bring myself to say it out loud. The nature of this betrayal is so egregious, so deeply hurtful, that it goes far beyond just a physical affair. According to the reports, Chris was not just cheating on Amy. He was allegedly talking to his affair partner about Amy. He was allegedly sharing intimate, private details of their marriage, their struggles, and their private moments with this other woman. He was caught in a web of lies where he was even talking to Amy's ex-husband, Matt, about private matters that should have stayed between husband and wife. It is a level of disrespect that is completely incomprehensible to any decent human being. This man stood in front of God, in front of her children, in front of her grandchildren, and in front of millions of viewers, and he promised to love, honor, and cherish her for the rest of his life. And instead of keeping that promise, he was mocking her trust. He was treating her love, her vulnerability, and her second chance at happiness like a joke. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine that pain. Imagine loving someone with your whole entire heart, especially after you have been so deeply hurt before. Imagine finally letting your guard down, telling them your deepest fears and insecurities, and believing with every fiber of your being that they will protect you and keep you safe. And then, imagine the devastation of finding out that the person you trusted the most was laughing about you with someone else, sharing your secrets, and betraying your trust in the most intimate way possible. That is exactly what Amy is going through right now. The news reports describe Amy as heartbroken and in tears, but honestly, I do not think that phrase even begins to cover the level of devastation she must be feeling right now. I cannot help but think about how this has affected her confidence and her self-worth. Amy is a woman who has always been so open and vulnerable about her insecurities, her weight struggles, her aging process, and the emotional battles she has fought. She found the courage to love again after so much pain, and this man used that courage as a weapon against her. So, what happens now? Well, the official announcement is that the divorce proceedings have officially begun. We are hearing from legal sources that Amy has filed for divorce, and this is a legal move that suggests she is completely done with this relationship. There is no going back. There is no reconciliation on the horizon. The fact that she has taken this drastic legal step tells us that the evidence of the affair was likely undeniable and that she was left with no other choice. Amy is not the type of person to jump to conclusions or act on a whim. She is a mother, a grandmother, a businesswoman, and a pillar of strength. She is stable, grounded, and thoughtful in her decisions. The fact that she is going through with a divorce at this stage in her life, after all the time and energy she invested in this relationship, tells me that she was given no other option. It tells me that the breach of trust was so total, so absolute, and so unforgivable that she had to walk away to protect her own sanity and dignity. We are also hearing that this divorce is going to be messy, and I do not just mean legally. Unlike her divorce from Matt, where there were farms, assets, and complicated family dynamics to untangle, this situation is different but equally painful. There is still a house to divide, joint accounts to separate, and a shared history that has now been tainted by betrayal. But more importantly, there is the emotional mess. There is the public perception. There is the shame and the embarrassment that comes with being publicly humiliated, not once, but twice, in front of the entire world. Let us talk about the Roloff family dynamic, because this is where things get really complicated and emotional. The children, Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob, have always been fiercely protective of their mother. They watched what Matt put her through during their divorce. They saw her struggle to find herself again. They saw her cry late at night when she thought nobody was watching. And now, to see another man, a man who was supposed to be her Prince Charming, do this to her, it is going to unleash a wave of anger and protection that we have never seen before. I have a feeling that the Roloff family is about to close ranks and circle the wagons around their mother. I expect to see a very strong, united front from the kids as they rally to support her. But I also expect to see some very strong, harsh words directed towards Chris. He has not only betrayed Amy, but he has betrayed the entire family. You know, the more I sit here and think about this heartbreaking situation, the more I realize that this story is not just about a celebrity divorce or tabloid drama. It is a parable. It is a life lesson for all of us watching. It is a painful reminder that we should never let our guard down completely, but it is also a powerful reminder of just how strong and resilient a person can be when their back is against the wall. Look at Amy. I know she is crying right now. I know she is heartbroken beyond measure. I know she is probably sitting alone in her house right now, looking at the photos on the wall, wearing his ring, and wondering where it all went wrong. She is probably questioning herself, questioning her judgment, and wondering if she will ever be able to trust anyone again. But you know what? Amy is a Roloff. She is tough. She is resilient. She is a fighter. She survived a broken marriage to Matt. She survived the stress of running a farm and raising a family under the microscope of reality television. She survived the difficulties of raising children with dwarfism and navigating the medical challenges that came with it. She survived the scrutiny, the criticism, and the judgment of millions of people who watched her every move. And let me tell you something, she is going to survive this too. She may be heartbroken and in tears right now, but those tears are not permanent. Those tears are the price of having loved deeply and authentically. Those tears are a testament to her beautiful humanity, and eventually those tears will dry up, and they will be replaced by something far more powerful. They will be replaced by a fire of independence, a fire of strength, a fire that says loud and clear, I do not need a man to define my happiness or my worth. So what is next for Amy? What does the future hold for this incredible woman who has been knocked down yet again? Well, we know that Amy still has her beloved pumpkin patch. She has her charity work that she is so passionate about. She has her grandchildren who absolutely adore her and see her as the heart of the family. She has her friends who have stood by her through thick and thin. And most importantly, she has all of us, millions of fans around the world who will continue to support her no matter what life throws her way. I do not think this is the end of Amy's story. I think this is just a new chapter. A painful chapter, yes. A chapter that probably feels like the end of the world to her right now, but a new chapter nonetheless. I am hearing that Amy is looking to refocus her energy on her personal brand and her business ventures. She wants to move away from the drama and toxicity of the show and focus on her passions. She wants to be the pumpkin queen again, but this time on her own terms and for her own reasons. Chris Marek, on the other hand, his reputation is completely in tatters. He has been exposed for who he really is, and the public is furious. He has lost the trust and respect of the Roloff family, and he has lost the trust and respect of the fans who once welcomed him with open arms. It will be very interesting to see if he even attempts to stay in the public eye after this disaster. Most likely, we will see him retreat into the shadows and try to escape the scrutiny, but the internet never forgets. As we slowly wrap up this deeply emotional video, I want to say one more thing to Amy, just in case she ever happens to watch this or hear about it. Amy, if you are watching this right now, we are so sorry. We are angry for you, we are hurt for you, and we are unbelievably proud of you. Proud that you had the courage to walk away from a situation that was harming your soul. Proud that you are choosing your self-respect, your dignity, and your mental health over a man who did not deserve a single tear of yours. Please do not give up on love, but more importantly, please do not give up on yourself. You are a legend. You are a mother, you are a grandmother, you are a survivor, and you are so much stronger than you even realize. And to you, my amazing audience, thank you so much for watching this entire video. I know it was long and I know it was emotionally heavy, but these are the stories that matter. If you feel as emotional as I do right now, please do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button as hard as you can. Let us break the like button for Amy. Let us show her that we are behind her 100%. And please, comment below your words of encouragement and love for her. Tell her what she means to you and how she has inspired you. Let us send this video straight to the top of the trends so that she can see just how much she is loved and supported. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell because we have a lot more updates on this developing story. And we will keep you informed with the same level of empathy, respect, and authenticity that Amy deserves. And, you know, the more I think about this whole situation, the more I realize that this is not just a story about infidelity. This is a story about the cruel reality of what happens when you give your heart to someone who does not deserve it. Amy gave Chris everything. She gave him her time, her energy, her love, her vulnerability, and her trust. She opened up her world to him and invited him into her family. She allowed him to be a part of her children's lives and her grandchildren's lives. She shared her home with him, her bed with him, and her dreams with him. And what did he do in return? He took all of that beautiful, precious love and he threw it away like it meant nothing, like she meant nothing. And that is the part that breaks my heart the most. It is not just the act of cheating itself, as terrible as that is. It is the complete and utter disregard for the feelings and the well-being of a woman who loved him with everything she had. It is the cold, calculated way he went about his betrayal, knowing full well that if she ever found out, it would destroy her. But he did it anyway. He made that choice. Every single day he woke up and made the conscious decision to lie to her face, to deceive her, and to break the sacred vows he made to her on their wedding day. I want to take a moment to talk about the emotional toll this is going to take on Amy, because I think we often forget that celebrities and reality TV stars are human beings with real feelings and real pain. We watch them on our screens and we think we know them, but we rarely stop to consider the weight of the burden they carry. Amy is not just a character on a television show. She is a real woman with a real heart that is currently shattered into a million tiny pieces. She is waking up every morning right now and remembering that the man she loves is gone. She is looking at her empty bed and feeling the cold absence of someone who was supposed to be there for her. She is going through her daily routine, trying to put on a brave face for her family and for the cameras, but inside she is screaming, she is crying, she is questioning everything she thought she knew about love and about herself, and that kind of pain does not just go away overnight. It lingers, it festers, it haunts you in the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts. Amy is going to need a lot of time, a lot of support, and a lot of love to heal from this wound. And the sad reality is that even with all the love and support in the world, some scars never fully disappear. They just become a part of who you are and remind you of what you survived. Now, let us talk about the elephant in the room. which is the role that the television show and the public spotlight have played in this entire saga. We have to wonder, did the pressure of being in the public eye contribute to the breakdown of this marriage? We have seen it happen time and time again with reality TV couples. The constant scrutiny, the lack of privacy, the pressure to perform for the cameras, and the endless speculation from fans and critics can put an incredible strain on even the strongest relationships. Chris and Amy were always in the spotlight. Every move they made was analyzed and judged. Every argument was filmed and dissected. Every happy moment was shared with millions of strangers. And while Amy was used to that lifestyle, having been on television for over a decade, Chris was relatively new to it. Maybe the pressure got to him. Maybe he felt suffocated by the constant attention. Maybe he resented the fact that his life was no longer his own. But none of that excuses what he did. Nothing excuses betraying the person you promised to love and protect. If he was struggling, he should have talked to her. He should have gone to therapy. He should have been honest about his feelings. Instead, he chose the coward's way out. He chose to sneak around behind her back and destroy everything they had built together. And then there is the question of Matt Roloff and how he fits into this whole mess. We have all seen the complicated history between Amy and Matt. They were married for 27 years, raised 4 children together, and built a successful business from the ground up. Their divorce was painful in public, and it took years for them to reach a place of civility. But in recent years, we have seen them actually start to get along. They have been able to co-parent their children and spend time together as a family. They have even been seen laughing and joking with each other, something that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. And now, with this news of Chris's betrayal, I cannot help but wonder how Matt is feeling. I imagine that he is feeling a mix of anger and sympathy. Anger that someone would treat the mother of his children with such disrespect, and sympathy for the woman he once loved, who is now going through yet another heartbreak. I also cannot help but wonder if this will change the dynamic between Amy and Matt. Will they grow closer as a result of this shared trauma? Or will it simply reinforce the reasons why their own marriage ultimately failed? Only time will tell, but it is certainly something to watch as this story continues to unfold. The children, of course, are going to be caught in the middle of all of this, and that breaks my heart too. Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob have already been through so much. They watched their parents' marriage fall apart on national television. They had to navigate the complicated waters of having divorced parents while also being public figures themselves. And now they have to watch their mother go through another devastating divorce. It is going to stir up a lot of old emotions and trauma for them. They are going to feel protective of their mother, but they are also going to feel angry and betrayed on her behalf. And let us not forget about the grandchildren. They are still young and may not fully understand what is happening, but they will feel the tension and the sadness. They will notice that grandma is crying more often and that Grandpa Chris is no longer around. Children are incredibly perceptive, and they pick up on things that adults often try to hide. This is going to be a difficult time for the entire family, and they are going to need to lean on each other more than ever before. I also want to address the fans who have been following this story from the very beginning. I know that many of you are feeling a deep sense of sadness and disappointment right now. We have invested so much time and emotion into watching Amy's journey. We have cheered for her, cried with her, and celebrated her victories. We felt like we were a part of her life in some small way. And now we are grieving alongside her. It is completely okay to feel that sense of loss. It is okay to be angry at Chris for what he has done. It is okay to feel protective of Amy and to want to defend her. That is what makes us a community. That is what makes this channel a safe space for people who care about these stories and these people. We are not just passive observers. We are connected to these narratives in a very real and emotional way. So do not feel silly if you have shed a tear over this news. I certainly have. It is a testament to the impact that Amy has had on our lives and the genuine affection we hold for her. Let us also take a moment to reflect on the lessons that we can learn from this heartbreaking situation. Life is unpredictable, love is risky, and people are not always who they pretend to be. We have all been hurt at some point in our lives. We have all trusted someone who let us down. But the key is to not let that pain harden our hearts. We cannot close ourselves off to love just because we have been burned in the past. Amy took a chance on love again after her divorce from Matt, and even though it did not work out the way she had hoped, I do not think she regrets it. I think she values the happy memories they shared. I think she appreciates the lessons she learned about herself through that relationship. And I think she will eventually find the strength to love again, if not another person, than herself more deeply than ever before. That is the true measure of resilience. It is the ability to keep your heart open even after it has been broken. Looking ahead, I am hopeful for Amy. I really am. This is not the end of her story. It is just a difficult chapter, and difficult chapters are often followed by beautiful new beginnings. She has so much to look forward to. She has her grandchildren who bring her so much joy. She has her business ventures, which she is so passionate about. She has her health and her energy, and she has the love and support of millions of fans who will never abandon her. She is going to come out of this stronger, wiser, and more empowered than ever before. And you know what? I cannot wait to see what she does next. I cannot wait to see her smile again, genuinely and from the heart. I cannot wait to see her thrive and prove to the world that she does not need a man to be happy. She is enough just as she is, and she always has been. To Chris, if you are watching this, I hope you take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself some serious questions.